What's up, people? Another Thursday, another Haxe related video, and today we are going to talk about static extensions or the using keyword in Haxe. So this is one of the things that is quite unique to Haxe. Not static extensions. Static extensions can be used in C based languages, but the using keyword is quite unique because the using keyword itself I've only ever seen used in Haxe. Usually if you want to import something, you use the import keyword, but yeah, let me just explain. Let's get right into code. I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to call it static extension, and again, I've done this before. Before we continue, please don't worry about this hub3. It's not related to this. It's Python virtual environment. Ignore that for now. Your terminal shouldn't have any of this stuff. But anyway, let's continue. So I have created a new static extension file. I'm going to make a new class out of it called static extension, and what I'm going to do is make a static method and learn to spell. I still can't spell. I'll get there eventually. I'm going to call it boomify. So what this is going to do is it's going to return a string, and it will take in a string. And it's going to, whatever string you put in, is that how you spell return? No, it's not. It's going to return to you a string, the string you put in the first time, so str, and it's going to say has been boomified. Okay, so it's something really stupid, probably not useful to anybody. So here is our class that we've created, and what we're going to do, I'm going to get rid of all this old code that is not needed, not import casting. And instead of doing an import, I'm going to do using. Why can't I spell today? Using a static extension. Here we go. So what this allows you to do, actually, let me import it as well. Even though because they're in the same directory, you don't really need to import it, but creature of habit. Just to show you both ways. So usually, if I wanted to say to run that method, import way, that'd be a string. If I wanted to run this method, I would do a static extension here and then boomify, and then put my string in, so that'd be Mike, right? And then if I trace that, like so, and then run this file, does it not exist? Static function, public, yeah, it's not public, it needs to be public. There we go. So if I run Haxe build, it will say Mike has been boomified. So this is the normal way of doing it. This is the way you've probably seen me do it before, running a static file. But if I wanted to do it this way, string again, what I do is I instead get the string that I want to use, and then just attach a boomify method straight to it. Okay, so you can see what happens here. The string is there, and the boomify method runs after it. So if I put that in here, save, and then run this again, you'll see it says the same thing. But yeah, this is basically a bit of syntactical sugar to make this sort of thing more readable. And you don't have to have one argument in a static extension method. You can have multiple arguments. So let's try static public method or function addition. So I'm going to put, why can't I spell today? Addition. So let's say you want to add two numbers, whole numbers, so ints. As a static extension, it's going to return a number. And what it's going to do is simply just do return a plus b. Here we go. And if I do, because I'm already using static extension, I could just do something like 1 addition 2. There we go. So it always takes the first argument you've put in as the one that goes on the left side. So in the console log or the trace, I should get 3. There we go. So it adds 2 numbers. And this is super useful when you're using the lambda library. Oh, I'm not getting it today. I'm not with it today. It's the rain. It's raining in London at the moment. Lambda. Here we go. So if you look at this, I'm not going to try and explain what it's doing, but it's actually quite complicated. And these are methods used to manipulate arrays, so like functional programming sort of stuff. So yeah, let me try and think of one. So let's say I have an array, test array, which would be, I don't know, array of integers. I don't know how that came across in the sound. 1, 2, 3, 4, and for each one of these, I want to add 1 to them. So I can just grab test array and do map I think. I'm very bad at remembering what comes in the lambda. I think it's map I. Map I. Okay, so then this is the array I've passed in, and for each array item, where is the? I'm so bad. I should just read documentation on this. But anyway, why isn't this? Why is it not highlighted anymore? I'm very lost with what's going on. I feel like I've done something to break it, but let's continue. So for each array item, I should just get the index idx, which is an int, and the array item, which is I think another int. And then I haven't shown you this before. I'm jumping the gun, but let's continue. So for each, actually I don't actually need this index, do I? This is what happens when you don't prepare before you record. So array, whoops, array, whatever, +1, right? Yep, I knew I've done something wrong here. There needs to be brackets here. There we go. So now if I run test array here, you will see, fingers crossed, lambda. It's not how you spell lambda. Come on. Lambda, is that, am I spelling it correctly? Okay, here we go. My spelling today, something up with it. Okay, so I did the right thing the first time. So you get index, which I'm not going to use actually. I'm not going to use it for anything, but you get the index first and you get the array, which I could have just done that. But anyway, map I, actually, let's add them together. So let's add the index together. Right, just for fun, which means it's going to add 1 to 0, so that'll be 1. And it's going to add 2 to 1, so that'll be 3. It's going to add 3 to 0, so that'll be 5. And then 4 to 3, so that'll be 7, I think. Let's test it. What? That didn't work. Okay, let's add a return. There we go. Still didn't work. What am I doing wrong? Oh, this isn't part of the video. Sorry, this isn't planned. Okay, so you get the index, you get the item, array of something, which is correct. Actually, let me make that. Let's try that. Even though you shouldn't have to. There we go. This is what I expected. So that'll be 1. So it's adding basically the array to the index. And I've jumped a lot of things here. You probably don't know what this weird arrow is. You probably don't know what I'm doing here with all the stuff, but I'll try and explain. So if we look at the documentation for Lambda, ignore all this stuff, right? So what it takes is an iterable, which I think is just an array, of whatever you put inside it, and then it returns the index, or the position of that array, and the item itself, so the item in the array. And so I can do whatever I want with it. So I've passed in here the array, and then I get the index and each item in the array. And that's how it works. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on here, even though I'm not sure exactly what all this means, but as you can see, this is a lot easier to read. Well, let me just do this really quickly to make it probably easier for you to understand what I've done. So this is essentially the same as that. It's just like a really simple way of writing it, or an easier way. Yeah, I think I've gone through most things about static extensions. If I've missed something out, please let me know in the comments below. And as usual, like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Bye.